So how did that spill over into other employees?
Well, I started to be kind of fatigued or annoyed by the whole dynamic I had with the host in general, in particular because I felt like when that situation happened, that I really needed the other host to stand by me and to sort of do what they could to help mend this situation, since anybody who was paying attention to the situation could tell that this was not an intentional an intentional offense to him. It's not like something where I was trying to get at him or anything like that. But then I think like what really happened is that like a bunch of the hosts that were on the channel kind of had their own platforms, their own streams that they were doing. And as a result of them, kind of needing to find shit to talk about, I felt like they, or just kind of wanting to stir the pot and kind of, potentially do some damage to No Jumper, that a lot of the hosts were not as supportive as I would have hoped. And so, yeah, that definitely created some tension. And then the thing that actually led to the other host leaving, though, was that I wanted to remove AD from the Tuesday show, the No Jumper show. And I told him that I wanted him to still do his podcast on Wednesdays, and I wanted him to still appear on the news, and he had a food show on the channel and everything, but that I didn't want him to do the Tuesday show with me and T-Rail and this other guy at the time, which was really just a product of the fact that I felt like me and him weren't really getting along on camera anymore. He was doing like 4 streams a week outside of that show. And he was kind of like saving topics. Like he wasn't giving his full self when we were on camera. So, and I feel like, he kind of admitted that, and the fans were clearly in on the joke in that regard. So I told him that I wanted to remove him from that show and that I thought it was probably the best thing for our friendship. He was cool with, like, he wasn't stoked on it. I think it kind of hurt his ego, but ultimately, like, he accepted it. And but then there's this other dude who was on the podcast at the time, this guy Lush. And I told Lush what was happening because he was part of the podcast as well. Obviously, I don't expect him to just show up one day and AD's not there. I told him what the plan was, and he, he's like an ex-addict and he really like needs people to confide in. So he basically goes in the No Jumper Discord and ends up spilling the beans about what was going to happen with the podcast to random fans, which was just mind-blowing. Like, you just fucking totally, and he got fired as a result of that, basically. And that was just mind-blowing that, like, oh, I thought that I could trust you, and it turns out that I can't trust you. And not only can I not trust you, but you told the secret that I told you that you really only had to hold on to for like 3 or 4 days. Like, it's not like this all happened within a Saturday. And I told him that, and then he tells this in the Discord, and then that kind of led to things falling out. And so when AD left, he basically took a few of the other hosts with him at that time.